What's going on, family? This is Scrapbook Boxing, a museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. We'd like to take a look at a welterweight named Luis Rodriguez. Now, Luis Rodriguez took the title away from Emil Griffith in 1963. They fought 4 times. Luis Rodriguez won 1. And that defeat of Mel Griffith had him stomping around the ring saying, "I got robbed." So they had a rematch. Let's take a look at their fight and the remainder of Luis Rodriguez's career. Now, having taken the title away from Emil Griffith in 1963, Luis Rodriguez had a short reign of only 79 days in 1963, but was unlucky to be a contemporary of Emil Griffith, who beat him on a split decision in 3 of their 4 fights. Griffiths won a 10-rounder in New York in December 1960, but when they fought for the welterweight title in Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles, in March 1963, Rodriguez won an upset 15-round verdict. That flat-nosed new champ did a war dance to celebrate with Emil Griffith, prancing around the ring, shouting, "I was robbed." They fought again in Madison Square Garden on June 8, 1963, and this time Griffith took a verdict. Both of them said they won easy. Rodriguez trainer Angelo Dundee said Luis demanded or dominated the fight. In June 1964, they fought again, and again Griffith got it. This time, in an unusual rough fight in Las Vegas, Rodriguez was furious after losing the WBA eliminator to Curtis Coates. He moved up to the middleweight and fought Nino Benvenuti for the world title in Rome in November 1969, but was knocked out by him in 11 rounds. He was a shot fighter by the time he retired in 1972. "I could have lasted another 10 years, he said, but I liked women." In his great days, he beat Ruben Hurricane Carter twice, Benny Briscoe, Denny Moyer, Georgie Benton, phenomenal, Tony Munden, Curtis Coates, and Virgil Akins. Outstanding. Let's take a look at his opponents. Now, Luis Manuel Rodriguez, was born June 17, 1937 in Cuba. He weighed 147 to 156 pounds. He stood 5 foot 8 inches and was managed by Ernesto Corrales. Luis Rodriguez began his professional career in 1956 and was placed on a card on June 2nd against a fighter by the name of Lorenzo Hernandez in Havana, Cuba. He knocked him out in 3 rounds. Then he went on to fight again July 21st against Vincent Reyes in Havana, Cuba, and he defeated him in 4 rounds. October 20th, he faced Julius Haynes in Havana, Cuba, and defeated him in 4 rounds. Had 2 more fights, 1 victory and 1 no contest against Jose Hernandez, December 15th. No contest in the 2nd round. But then in 1957, he faced Jose Hernandez again, this time January 12th in Havana, Cuba, knocked him out in 5 rounds. June 22nd, he faced Antonio Salis in Havana, Cuba, and defeated him in 8 rounds. November 15th, Rolando Rodriguez, Havana, Cuba, defeated him in 8 rounds. 1958, April 19th, he faced Tony Armentos, Havana, Cuba, defeated him in 10 rounds. Charlie Scott, July 26th, Havana, Cuba, and he KO'd him in 9 rounds. September 20th, Kid Fikute, Havana, Cuba, defeated him in 12 rounds and won the Cuban welterweight title. 1959, February 21st, Joe Miceli, Havana, Cuba, knocked him out in 5 rounds. Now, that's a very impressive victory because Joe Miceli was a very, very good fighter. May 9th, Cecil Shorts, Havana, Cuba, knocked him out in 9 rounds. June 17th, he faced Virgil Akins, Miami Beach, and he defeated him in 10 rounds. Virgil Akins was a champion. who lost the title to Don Jordan. August 26, Riddell Stitch, Louisville, Kentucky, defeated him in 10 rounds. October 3rd, Larry Baker, Havana, Cuba, defeated him in 10 rounds. October 21st, Izzy Logart, Miami Beach, defeated him in 10 rounds. Izzy Logart was a very good Cuban fighter. He was in a tournament with Virgil Akins. Very good fighter. December 23rd, Gernard Sugar Hart, very good fighter, Miami Beach, defeated him in 10 rounds. So this resume so far is astonishing. 1960, February 10th, he faced Carl Hubbard, Miami Beach, knocked him out in 4 rounds. March 2nd, Chico Vijar, Miami Beach, defeated him in 10 rounds. Fascinating. April 7th, Alvaro Gunizedis. Alvaro Gutierrez, I have to correct that. Los Angeles, knocked him out in 4 rounds. May 26th, Alfredo Coates, Los Angeles, California, knocked him out in 2 rounds. July 6th, Virgil Akins, Louisville, Kentucky, defeated him in 10 rounds. Fascinating. November 16th, he faced Yama Bahama. Yama Bahama was from Bahamas. Miami Beach, defeated him in 10 rounds. Another good fighter, November 28th, Johnny Gonsalves, Oakland, California, defeated him in 10 rounds. December 17th, Emil Griffith, New York, and he lost in 10 rounds. Emil Griffith obviously was a welterweight and a middleweight champion, so I can understand that loss. 1961, August 3rd, he faced Curtis Coates in Dallas and lost in 10 rounds. Curtis Coates would be champion. October 24th, Jose Gonzalez, Miami Beach, knocked him out in 6 rounds. December 2nd, Curtis Coates, Miami Beach. This time he defeated him in 10 rounds. 1962, very good fighter. January 27th, Federico Thompson, New York, defeated him in 10 rounds. He had a very good fight with Benny Kid Perret. March 17th, Ricardo Felix, Miami Beach, knocked him out in 3 rounds. May 4th, Yama Bahama, New York, knocked him out in 3 rounds. June 30th, Gene Ace Armstrong, New York, knocked him out in 8 rounds. August 29th, Ernie Buford, Miami Beach, knocked him out in 7 rounds. This is fascinating. 1963, January 19th, Joey Giambra, Miami Beach, 10-round victory. Joey Giambra was a very good Italian fighter. March 21st, Emil Griffith, Los Angeles, California, defeated him in 15 rounds and won the World Welterweight Championship. Now that's the fight I was talking about earlier where Emil Griffith was prancing around the ring stating he was robbed. So they had to get a rematch. June 8th, Emil Griffith, New York. This time he lost 15 and lost the Welterweight Championship. And that was his first and only opportunity to regain that year. August 17th, Denny Moyer, Miami Beach, knocked him out in 9 rounds. 1964, March 20th, Harley Mims, good fighter, New York, defeated him in 10 rounds. April 3rd, Jesse Smith, Miami Beach, defeated him in 10 rounds, another good fighter. June 12th, Emil Griffith, Los Angeles, lost 15 rounds for the World Welterweight Championship. And that was his second opportunity to try to regain the title. First time in 64, the first time in 63 and the first time in 64. November 14th, L.C. Morgan, Mexican City, defeated him in 2 rounds. Now this is Rodriguez and Griffith. Luis Rodriguez was 26 years old, 147 pounds. He stood 5 foot 8 inches and had a 74-inch reach. Emil Griffith was 25 years old, 147 pounds, and he was 5 foot 7.5 inches, and he had a 72-inch reach. September 29th, Phil Robinson, knocked him out in 3 rounds. October 21st, Candy McFarlane, defeated him in 10 rounds. December 15th, Benny Briscoe. Wow. Los Angeles defeated him in 10 rounds. That's fascinating. 1968, Carl Moore, Miami Beach, defeated him in 10 rounds. Teddy Wright, Miami Beach, defeated him in 10 rounds. 1969, Rafael Gutierrez, San Diego, California, knocked him out in 6 rounds. Fascinating. November 22nd, Nino Benvenuti, Rome, Italy, and was knocked out in 11 rounds for the World Middleweight Championship. Fascinating. Johnny Gonzalez, September. He lost in 10 and defeated him in 10 rounds. Bobby Cassidy, Miami Beach, 1971, defeated him in 10 rounds. That was January 26. 1972. He had 2 fights, took 2 L's, but 121 fights. Scored 49 KOs. He won on a draw 57 times. Lost decision. He won on a decision 57 times and lost on a decision 10 times. Knocked out 3 times. Fascinating fighter. Luis Manuel Rodriguez. Salute to him. I have to put him in my museum with the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Take a look at another welterweight. Here we have Curtis Coates. Another fascinating fighter. Curtis Coates was born in Dallas, Texas. Began fighting as a professional, 20 years old. He's a lightweight and learned the business in a tough ring in Texas in the late 1950s and the early 1960s. He fought world-class men such as Luis Rodriguez, Kenny Lane, and his greatest early rival, Manuel Gonzalez, who he met 5 times. His chance became when he won the WBA and decided on an elimination tournament after Emil Griffith had moved up to the middleweight and vacated the 147-pound title. Curtis stopped Luis Rodriguez in 15 rounds in New Orleans, Louisiana, in July 1966, and then won the vacant WBA title by outpointing Gonzalez a month later. He rounded off a watershed year in clearing out Box Aggressive. Frenchman named Jean Jocelyn in Dallas, Texas. Very, very good fighter. Dallas, Texas. Welterweight. He was born June 15, 1937. 1958, as you can see, March 24th, Manuel Gonzalez. Midland, defeated him in 6 rounds. I'm just skimming through. 1959, January 20, George Corrin. Knocked him out in 3 rounds. Henry Watson, Dallas, Texas. Defeated him in 4 rounds. Manuel Gonzalez, Dallas, Texas. Lost in 10 rounds. Rip Randall, very good fighter. Fought him twice. May 18th and July 27th. May 18th. Trying to remember exactly what happened in that fight. But I know July 27th, he knocked him out in 1 round. But that was a very, very tough fight, that first fight on May 18th. I'm just trying to reflect as I'm viewing this. 1960, March 1st, Lovett Jenkins defeated him in 8 rounds. July 29th, Pedro Ruiz, El Paso, Texas. Knocked him out in 3 rounds. October 24th, Stephen Radel, good fighter, Dallas, Texas, knocked him out in 8 rounds. 1961, January 16th, Joe Maselli, Dallas, Texas, defeated him in 10 rounds. February 13th, Charlie Smith, Dallas, Texas, defeated him in 10 rounds. June 8th, Kenny Lane, Dallas, Texas, 10-round draw. August 3rd, Luis Manuel Rodriguez, Dallas, Texas, defeated him in 10 rounds. September 14th, Manuel Gonzalez, Dallas, Texas, defeated him in 10 rounds. December 2nd, Luis Rodriguez, Miami Beach, Florida. He lost in 10 rounds. 1962. January 23rd, Carlos Macias, Houston, Texas, knocked him out in 4 rounds. And he continues. May 11th, Rudolph Bent, Dallas, Texas, knocked him out in 8 rounds. Now, Rudolph Bent was Ray Robinson's last opponent. The very last opponent he fought. Rudolph Bent. That was in 1965. August 22nd, Joey Lamis, Albuquerque, New Mexico, defeated him in 10 rounds. Fascinating. I'm just skimming through. Jose Stable, New York, lost in 10 rounds. Joey Parks, killed him in 5 rounds. Stan Harrington, Honolulu, defeated him in 10 rounds. 1964, May 1st, Stan Howard, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He was knocked out in 4 rounds. Al Andrew fought him twice, June 9th and August 10th. 10-round victories in both occasions. Eddie Pace, good fighter, August 27th, lost in 10 rounds. 1965, March 15th, Marshall Wells, killed him in 12 rounds, 1966, July 6th, Luis Rodriguez, New Orleans, knocked him out in 15 rounds. August 24th, Manuel Gonzalez, New Orleans, defeated him in 15 rounds and won a WBA welterweight championship. November 28th, Sean Jocelyn, Dallas, Texas, defeated him in 15 rounds and won a vacant world welterweight championship. Fascinating. See, they believed in undisputed back in those days, and that's why you got to give them more props than not all, but some of the fighters today who are just satisfied with one title. But when I see you trying to unify it, I'll give you that respect if you're trying. And I'll call you the world champion. If you're trying to get the unification and you're not able to, I have to give you credit for being a world champion. 1967. He retained the World Welterweight Championship with a 10-round knockout. 1968. Just look at his record. You take a look at his record. And you tell me if this man is not a world champion. 1969, February 10th, Don Cobbs, St. Louis, Missouri, knocks him out in 1 round. April 18th, Jose Napoles, Los Angeles, knocked out. He was knocked out in 13 rounds and lost the welterweight championship. He had 80 total bouts, 30 KOs. He won on a decision 32 times, 4 draws, and lost in a decision 11 times. He was knocked out 3 times. Salute to Curtis Cokes, dynamite fighter. He fought real fighters in his division during his reign. And that's all I can ask for. So salute to Curtis Cokes. Salute to Luis Manuel Rodriguez. They've just been entered into my museum with the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Take a look at another welterweight. We got to look at Jose Napoles. Jose Napoles. Let's take a look at him. Jose Napoles had a record of 77-7 with 54 knockouts. He fought 1958 to 1975. Held the World Welterweight Championship from 1969 to 1970, and then again 1971 and 1975. Fascinating fighter. Only 10 weeks later, Napoles forced Cokes to retirement after the 10th round on a chilly, rainy night in Mexico City when 25,000 fans turned out to welcome him in a home where he adopted when he walked away from Fidel Castro. Fidel Castro was a leader at Cuba at that time. Regime in 1962. Napoles outpointed Emil Griffith and stopped Ernie Red Lopez. Now, Little Red Lopez, he fought Salvador Sanchez in a 15-rounder. He's an outstanding champion with Little Red Lopez. He fought Billy Baskus in Syracuse, New York, close to his hometown in Canastota, and a rematch in Los Angeles. In June 1971, Napoles won easy to resume where he left off as a champion. 6 more defenses followed as he demonstrated why he was the best welterweight in history. All that's a matter of opinion. But salute to Jose Napoles on that. You got to feel that about yourself. Now, Jose Napoles was born in Cuba, April 13th, 1940. He began his professional career in 1958 on a card on August 2nd. Julio Rojas, Havana, Cuba, knocked him out in 1 round. And as you can see here, 3 fights in 57, all knockouts. 1959, February 21st, Armando Castillo, Havana, Cuba, defeated him in 4 rounds. And this is going on. He had 1 loss, August 22nd, Hilton Smith, Havana, Cuba, 10-round loss. 1960, he has 1 loss, February 20th, to Waldo Ventoris, Havana, Cuba, lost in 10 rounds. Angel Garcia, Leslie Grant, 1961, all victories, including March 19th, Chico Morales, Havana, Cuba, defeated him in 10 rounds, good fighter. I'm just skimming through. 1963, Tony Perez, 10-round loss, January 5th. Baby Vasquez. I have all of these fighters' profiles in my collection. November 30th, L.C. Morgan, good fighter, knocked him out in 7 rounds. November 16th, Tony Perez, Mexico City, knocked him out in 3 rounds. That's a testament of the ability of Jose Napoles, because these fighters are very, very good fighters. They have good records. 1964, June 22nd, Carlos Hernandez, knocked him out in 7 rounds. Eduardo Moreno, knocked him out in 5 rounds. Fascinating. 1965, L.C. Morgan again, knocked him out in 3 rounds. Eddie Perkins would be a junior welterweight champion. August 3rd, defeated him in 10 rounds. Adolfo Pruitt, Mexico City, knocked him out in 3 rounds, December 11th. Fascinating, fascinating, fascinating. 1966, he was just stopped by L.C. Green in 4 rounds. That was on August 22nd. Defeated the rest of his opponents. 1967, he would face L.C. Morgan again. This time he knocks him out in 2 rounds. 1968, Eddie Pace, July 15th, defeated him in 10 rounds. 1969, February 15th, he would face Fate Davis, Mexico City, knocks him out in 7 rounds. That will prepare him for the 18th of April, 1969, Curtis Coast, Los Angeles. He knocks him out in 13 rounds and won the World Welterweight title. Then he gets a return match. June 29th, Curtis Coates, Mexico City, knocks him out in 10 rounds and retains the World Welterweight title. October 12th, Emil Griffith, Los Angeles, defeats him in 15 rounds to retain the World Welterweight title. Wonderful. Outstanding. Ernie Lopez, that's Little Red Lopez, knocks him out in 15 rounds in Los Angeles, February 15th, and retains the World Welterweight title. December 3rd, Billy Backus, Syracuse, knocks him out in 4 rounds. Lost the World Welterweight title. Manuel Gonzalez, Billy Backus, knocks him out in 4 rounds and regains the World Welterweight title. Fascinating. December 14th, Hedgeman Lewis. Hedgeman Lewis would go on and train George Foreman, who was an assistant trainer in that gym. Los Angeles, defeated him in 15 rounds. He retained the World Welterweight title. 1972, March 28th, Ralph Charles knocks him out in 7 rounds, retaining the world title. Adolfo Pruitt, KO 2 rounds, retained the world title. That was in 1972. 1973, February 28th, Ernie Lopez, Los Angeles, California, knocks him out in 7 rounds, retained the World Welterweight title. June 23rd, Roger Minitri, defeated him in 15 rounds to retain the World Welterweight title. Fascinating. So these are the welterweights we're looking at today. Outstanding fighters. Jose Napoles, I gotta salute him and put him in the Museum with the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Dynamite Fighter. We looked at Curtis Coates, Dynamite Fighter. And Luis Manuel Rodriguez. Salute to all three of these welterweights. I want to take the time to thank two of my subscribers who are really boxing fans. Pete Rosario. Salute to him. Always corresponds with me. Real good boxing fan. Chris Rayner. Another good boxing fan. And always retro boxing and documentaries. Got to salute to the brother. And my brother Kurt Sugar Anderson. In the corner. Full support. Layla D, salute. PK Boxing and MMA. Salute to all my supporters and all my subscribers. One love. Gotta give one more shout out to Mr. Styles. Salute to you, brother. Phenom International. Gotta throw him in there. Always supporting the brother. Junior the Truth. The Cali Enigma. Like I said, salute to everybody. Peace.